Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, gonna give all glory and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKadosh. Alright, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Alright, and Shalom to the elect. Alright, just finna get into this quick lesson. Alright, you know, the nuclear destruction that's about to come, that's soon to come. Alright, I was watching a clip. Lord willing, I might, if I could figure out how to do it, I'm gonna screen record it and put it, I'm gonna, edit it to the first part of the video, but, it's just a clip of a mushroom cloud, just forming, I think I think it was the explosion. I don't know if I seen that, but I know I believe it was the explosion. But yeah, the explosion, all right, from the nuclear missile, all right, and it was just a big mushroom cloud, and the caption was, what is your chances of surviving Salakia, and your chances of surviving is zero if you're not right with Yahweh Bashim Shah, all right. Because the only way you're going to be able to escape is through Yahweh Bashim Shah beaming you up on that chariot, As a matter of fact, I can start off with that. Oh, yeah. Okay, Slack. This is Revelations chapter 11 and verse 12. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, Come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. All right. So it says they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. All right, man. I'm gonna keep on reading, because that cloud is going into the chariot. All right. That Yahushua, he's gonna be picking up his elect. All right. He's gonna be picking up the elect. Delivering them out of from the situation of being destroyed by nuclear missiles. All right. It says, in the same hour was there a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell. And that 10th part of the city is talking about America. All right. Because America is divided, into 10 FEMA zones. It says, and in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000. And that earthquake is going into the nuclear missiles hitting America, It says 7,000. All right, that 7,000 representing a complete amount of people, So 2/3, all right, the heathens, all right, that's left here in Babylon the Great, aka America. They're all gonna die. If they're still alive, they're all gonna die, It says, and the remnant were frightened and gave glory to the God of heaven. All right, it says the remnant were frightened. Why was he frightened? As the scriptures say, the righteous shall scarcely be saved, roughly paraphrasing, So they're gonna be calling on Yahweh Shem Yahushua, while the missiles is being shot over, hoping to be be delivered, And they're gonna the elect is just gonna be praising, calling on Yahweh Shem Yahushua to deliver them. All right, and once they are delivered, they're just gonna praise Yahweh Shem Yahushua's name, And it says the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. All right, and we're in the time of World War III happening. All right, we got war all over, the world right now. All right, and America and Russia, or America. All right, Israel. What is Israel doing? The land of Israel doing? They're not I don't want to say nothing wrong, but they're not. Basically, they're going to forward war for America. It's like it. They're going to they're going to make America, come out to war. As the scriptures say, the least of the flock shall draw them out, Because, what is Israel doing? they're killing innocent people, you know. I ain't gonna talk about that right now, you know, because that's not the topic, you know. But hey, we're in a time of great war, you know, and World War III is going to be here soon. All right. So now back to the point in Joel 2:1. It says, "Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound in an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand." All right. Yep, it's close. All right. The day of the Lord being Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, you know, utterly destroying Babylon the Great, aka America, with them nuclear missiles. All right, and then at the same time, Yahweh and his angels, all right, are taking down the armies, all right, helping the destruction of Babylon. All right. So hey, we're blowing the trumpet, all right, sounding that alarm of, hey, get right with Yahweh Shema Shah, you know, because hey, the only way you're gonna be able to, you know, abide in this day is through Yahweh Shema Shah, you know. Here, this is Ezekiel chapter 3 and verse 17. "Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, hear the word of my mouth and give them warning from me." All right. So the prophets, all right, we're out here giving you warning. You know, we're out here giving you the warning from Yahweh Shem Shah. All right, we're his messengers. You know, we're ambassadors for Yahweh Shem Shah. All right, so we're bringing out the message that, hey, that Yahweh Shem Shah, he's not coming back to play. All right, within these prophecies, all right, what's about to go on in the future of this world, all right, of this age that we're living in, all right, it's only gonna get worse. And if you're not right with Yahweh Shem Shah, you're gonna be destroyed. You know. That was it on that. I'm gonna get another one, just real quick. Going back to Joel 2. Second Ezra chapter 15 and verse 1. "Behold, speak down in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, said the Lord." All right. So it says, "Speak thou in the ears of my people." So we're the prophets. All right. We're out here commanded to speak to Yahweh Shem Shah's people, these so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the words of prophecy. All right. What does prophecy mean? To say before. All right. So we're telling you of the things that's going to come to pass before it happens. All right. And why is that? So you can get right. You know. So you can get right, because it's going to be a time to when you can't get right, and the Lord is just, you know, bringing all just straight up judgment, you know. So it says, "Which I will put in thy mouth, said the Lord." Yo, because Yahweh Shem Shah is the one that speaks through us, you know, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Yep, these scriptures are true. The holy scriptures are true. All right, they're all going to come to pass. Everything that's written in this book is going to come to pass, just like the destruction of Babylon the Great, which is America. All right. So back in Joel 2 and verse 2. "A day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains. A great people and a strong, there hath not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after, even to the years of many generations." All right, so it says a day of darkness and of gloominess. All right, what it says, "And of gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness." And why is that? Because that, once them nuclear, you know, nuclear missiles, you know, hit America, all right, what's going to be covering the sky? That mushroom cloud, all right? And that mushroom cloud, it ain't, that shit's black, you know? That shit, it's you know, it's smoke from fire, you know? So that ain't something that you want to be a part of, you know? This is Isaiah 13 and verse Matter of fact, I'll get this later on. It says, verse 3, a fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the Garden of Eden, before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yeah, and nothing shall escape them. All right? Because the Garden of Eden representing, because the Hebrew word for Eden is Idan, meaning paradise, all right? And America was paradise at a certain point of time, all right? But soon to come, from that great nuclear destruction is going to show that, it ain't shit, But yeah, it says, and nothing shall escape them. Yeah, you're not going to be able to escape this day if you're not right with Yahweh Shem Shah. It says, like the noise of the chariots on top of the mountains shall they leap, like the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array. All right, and this is talking about them nuclear missiles. All right, hitting their target basically. Hey, nothing's gonna stop these missiles from hitting where Yahweh Shem Shah wants them to hit. It says, before their face the people shall be much pained. All faces shall gather blackness. All right? And why is that? Because it's going to be, people going to crash out. People going to die just off the spot, just of hearing, the nuclear sirens. All right? People are going to bug out here, People are going to be terribly terrified, Because they're gonna realize that they have no way out, But the elect, they're gonna know who to call on, all right, and what they should do, rather than running around losing their mind. They're gonna call on Yahweh Shem Shah, As the scriptures say. Here, I'm gonna get some real quick. Real quick. Give me a second. It's the book of Acts, chapter 4, and verse 12. It says, neither is there salvation in any other, for there is none other name under heaven given among men whereby we must be saved. All right. That's the only way we're gonna be saved is through Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. All right, not no other names. All right, only Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. All right, and the elect know that. All right, and guess what? They're gonna Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is gonna guide them to call on His name rather than just bugging out. Because look. Give me a second. This is Isaiah 33 and verse 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and the strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. So see, wisdom and knowledge, all right, of the scriptures, all right, true wisdom and knowledge of the scriptures is going to keep us stable in the times to come. Rather than like these other people, they're going to bug out, all right, they're going to be running around, losing their mind, pulling out their hair. All right, all types of crazy shit, But the elect, they're gonna be stable, and they're gonna, I gotta call on His name, As the scriptures say, Zechariah 13 and 9, And I'm gonna get that too, I'm gonna get this. Zechariah 13 and verse 8, and it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. 2/3 of Israel, Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are going to die here in Babylon the Great, aka America. And I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. All right, the elect. All right, that's the third part. That's the elect. All right, Yahweh Shem Shah, He's going to try his elect. He's going to, prove that they're worthy, And guess what? They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord is my God. So see, the elect, they're not going to be expecting, a easy path to the kingdom, because the scriptures say, through much tribulation shall we enter into the kingdom. Roughly paraphrasing, or right here, it talks about the Lord putting us through that fire, you know. So hey, we're gonna, and then once we're in that fire, we're gonna, the Lord's gonna put it into the elect mind to what? To call on Him, to understand that hey, we gotta go through this, and the best thing for you to do is call on Yahweh Shem Shah, call on me, cause hey, that's the only way. All right. And I didn't mean to say call on me, hell no. I'm saying, call on Yahweh Shem Shah, And yeah, the elect, they're gonna know to do that, But that's why we do what we gotta do now, so the Lord can keep His Spirit on us, so the Lord can put His Spirit on us to do that, I'm gonna go back to Isaiah actually. Here, Isaiah chapter 13. Isaiah 13 and verse 6. How ye, for the day of the Lord is at hand, it shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. That how ye is a scream of terror, all right? For the day of the Lord is at hand. And yeah, people should be out here, our people should be in a spirit of getting right, rather than, partying, BSing, all right? Because, hey, we're coming into the times where partying, BSing, that's only gonna reward you, death, Not Yahweh Shem Shah looking upon you and being delighted with you, but rather like, oh, this nigga was bullshitting when I wasn't here, He didn't listen to my servants. He didn't, he ain't change his ways. I'ma kill him, It says, it shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. Therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt. And they shall be afraid. Pangs and sorrows shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. They shall be amazed one at another. Their faces shall be as flames. So see, because hey, these people out here, Israelites that's, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans that's not paying attention. All right, hey, these regular old heathens, all right, all of them, they're gonna feel, this day. All right, they're gonna know that there's no way out, and they're just gonna be engulfed by. They're gonna be engulfed by fear, It says, "Behold, the day of the Lord cometh cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and He shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it." So see, the nuclear missiles. All right, that's how He's gonna destroy this. That's how He's gonna destroy the sinners out of it. All right, He's gonna cleanse this place. All right. It says, "For the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof shall not give their light. The sun shall be darkened in his going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine," because of that mushroom cloud, from the nuclear missiles. "And I will punish the world for their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity. And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible." Yep. Hey, Esau, all right, you're not going to be prideful in that day. You're going to see the Lord work right there. You're not going to be able to do nothing about it. You're just going to be sitting there, like, wow. You're going to be like, wow, I'm through now, And then for these other, just low-level, prideful people, and they're going to die. They're going to die. All right? They're going to realize that their life was meaningless, that everything that they worked for was meaningless, This is what matters right here. Yahweh Shem Shah. Of course we do what we gotta do. But hey, only Yahweh Shem Shah matters at the end of the day, As the scriptures say, get it. 2 Peter 3 and verse 10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, and the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up. So see, everything here in Babylon the Great is going to be burnt up. And guess what? This day is going to catch everybody off guard. People are not going to be expecting nuclear missiles, to come hit America. People are not going to be expecting that. People are not going to be expecting Yahweh Shah, cracking them clouds. All right. It says, seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons are ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness? Well, see, understanding that this is about to go on, should we be, partying and BSing? All right, because, hey, this life, hey, that YOLO life, that's going to catch up with a lot of people, Oh, I'm going to do whatever because I know hey, you only live once, That's going to catch up with a lot of people, and they're going to realize, like, damn, I shouldn't have done that. So hey, it's time to serve y'all about Shemal Shah. That's what it's time for. All right, time to serve y'all about Shemal Shah. All right, you're supposed to be conducting yourselves, like you want to be delivered. So yeah, I'm gonna end it off there. Just a quick one. So Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Gonna give all glory and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKadosh. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. All right, and shalom to the elect. All right, shalom.